Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flip Side of Mud. We are on another video on our Vietnam Veteran Series, 58,000 Lives, a tribute to the fallen. Update as always. I was going to do two videos tonight, but I'm absolutely freezing back here, so probably won't do but more than one, maybe. Alright, I left off on video 12 last night, the other night when I did one. So that leaves me on to video. We're on video 12. Okay, yeah, we're on 221. I went and wrote a bunch more this weekend, or if we were snowed in the last 2 days, so I wrote a few more while we were snowed in. And I am up to 305 of 58,000. Still got a ways to go. It's a long road. So we're on 221. I have 305 wrote down. So as long as I stay more than 20 ahead, then we are just fine on our videos. So hopefully we don't have any anomalies show up here. I always say if you guys want to see the ghost that showed up or the anomaly in my video series, go to video 5. They're all numbered um, at the 10-minute, 10-second mark. Look right here. That's all you got to do. All right, if you guys enjoy all these videos, just keep liking and subscribing, and you guys will follow along with me. We're still in the A's. We're on Adams, so we have a long way to go to get to the Z's. But if your family member, anybody you know, died in Vietnam, they can follow along the series. They're going to be in. You can go into someone's YouTube and look at their video um, categories, and mine right now are under A, the Vietnam A. They were going to do each one of them. So if you have somebody that you know, a family member or whatever, that has a different last name, they can um, pick the series at least through the A's. I mean, I'm not going to do individuals, but I'm doing 20 a video, so you can at least find your loved one in the last name based on the series. So all the A's are going to go in the same folder, if that makes any sense. But once again, we have a list. I'm still putting stars next to the Medal of Honors, Bronze Stars, Silver Stars, accommodations, things like that, and interesting stories that we're going to do on a secondary podcast when I get a little farther along in the series that need more in depth because a lot of them don't have any information, and some of them need more talking than just 30 seconds. So while we're at it, let me get my phone ready and get right on the list here. I've been learning to do 20 because I screenshot all the names, their faces, so you guys can see the face with the name, and I try to stay ahead of myself. So when I pull up, I have it under Vietnam. When I pull up Vietnam, it should be on the very first person. Yes, because I try to delete. I do 20 every video, and I try to go in here when I get done and delete 20. So the next time it's right there. I didn't do that the first couple of videos, and I had to find my spot and everything. But the first picture that comes up, we're on the right spot. And we're going to have a little bit better quality because we're using the computer and I'm using the phone instead of my laptop, which made the pictures harder to see. Let's get right into it. We're on 221 at 58,000. We're going to go to 240. Yeah, on video 12. We might do a video 13. I don't know. I'm kind of cold. I mean, my hands are literally freezing, even though I have a heater running back there. It's cold in Kentucky. Okay, so we're just going to go right ahead and start. This is SP4 Philip J. Adams. And there's a couple pictures. Come on, camera, fix. Not going to be on this one, but a couple pictures in like the late 200s. They looked like celebrities. So I'll try to remember. I don't write it, didn't write them down, so you guys will get reaction, live reaction. So when I see them, I'll be like, "Hey, this looks like John Cena." You know, one did look like John Cena, but I won't have that wrote down, so it'll be a live reaction when we get a couple videos down. Okay, SP4 Philip J. Adams, born June the 5th. I was born June the 5th. Woohoo! 1950. Of course, he was 33 years before I was born. He died January 9th, 1971. He was 21 in Vietnam. I couldn't find any info. So this is what I mean. Some of them have no info, and there's nothing I can do about that. If I have some info, I try to dig a little deeper. But there was nothing on there. He has conflicting death dates. The death on his website, findagrave.com, was different than what was on his tombstone, or was his tombstone different than the Vietnam Memorial? One of the two. There's a different death rate, so they're conflicting. That's all. Just hope y'all know that. So if you look him up, it may be a wrong date. He's on panel 50 of panel 5W, line 38 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Philip J. Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. Hopefully, we have no ghost show. I mean, I do want to see more, so I hope they do show up, but I just can't understand what that was. I don't want nothing to get me, is all I'm saying. I don't mind a ghost show. If a ghost wants to sit down and have a conversation, we'll sit down and have a podcast, but I don't want him scaring me, if you understand that. Okay, this is Private Philip Curtis Adams. Don't have a lot of privates on here because a lot of times when they died or MIA and stuff, they still ranked up, which was good of them. There was not a lot of privates. Maybe because by the time they get out of boot camp or get out of training, they're past private. Philip Curtis Adams, born May 24th, 1950, died May the 5th, 1970. He was 19 in Kaihahoa, Vietnam. He was a 524th Quartermaster Master Company, 96th Support and Service Battalion, 54th GS Group, Army Support Command. Cam Ryan Bay, 1st Logistics Command. That guy had a lot of stuff on his name. Good thing I had to wear all that on their chest. All right. He died when he drowned attempting to rescue a fellow soldier who was drowning. Why didn't he get a medal? At least a Bronze Star. I understand the Silver Stars are just under Medal of Honor. Why didn't this guy get a Bronze Star? He sacrificed himself to go save someone else. That deserves Bronze Star. I don't understand why. I'm going to put a star next to him because I just don't get why he didn't receive something. And when we do those in the podcast, one day, if this gets bigger, we'll look into this and try to get these guys the medals they deserve because that's just not right. You know what I'm saying? There is a few in here that deserve more than what they got. This is SP4. This is 223. SP4 Raymond Spencer Adams. He was born November 26, 1945 in Salt Lake City, Utah. Died December 26th, day after Christmas. 1967, he was 22 in Vietnam. He was in the 1st Aviation Brigade, 145th Aviation Battalion, 12th Aviation Group, 334th Aviation Company. He died in a non-hostile helicopter crash. Only of it I can find. He's on panel 32E, line 61. And I don't think I did Philip. I don't think I did the other guys. Panel 11W999. So Private Adams was panel 11W, line 99, and Raymond Spencer Adams was 32E, line 61. I got into the discussion. I completely forgot what I normally do. Let's give them both a moment of silence. And I thank both of them for their service. Why is my quality not very good on my camera? I don't understand. We'll roll with what we got. This is SP4 Richard Lee Adams. Oh, drop the phone. I'm just going to make me lose my spot. Okay, there we go. Richard Lee Adams, born April 17, 1946, died February 16, 1967. Was 20 years old in Con Tum, Vietnam. He's with C Company, 2nd Battalion, 8th Infantry. Died from small arms fire. Only info I could find. He's on panel 15E, line 43 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give SP4 Adams a moment of silence. Thank him for his service. Okay, this is that was the last one. This is Staff Sergeant Richard Lyle Adams. Born February 28, 1945 in Florissant, Missouri. Florissant, Missouri. Died November 8th, 1969. He was 24 in Binh Dong, Vietnam. He was the 1st Infantry, 1st Engineering Brigade, E Company. Died from multiple frag wounds. I always do these right after I eat, and it always messes me up. He's on panel 16W, line 44 of the Wall Memorial. I just had Dairy Queen. Let's give Staff Sergeant Richard Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service to our country. It's a handsome devil right here. This is First Lieutenant Robert. Oh, I keep jumping ahead one. This is Lance Corporal Ricky Fay Adams. I'm always ahead of one. Lance Corporal Ricky Fay Adams. Dude, handsome guy. Born October 3rd, 1948 in Sioux City, Iowa. Died March 1st, 1968. He was 19. Quang Nang, Vietnam. He was an M Company, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marine Division, 3rd Marine Amphibious Force. He died from small arms fire. There's a whole lot of those guys, but there's no other info. That's all he wrote down. He's on panel 42E, line 12 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Lance Corporal Ricky Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. I swear, every time I do these, I get a weird feeling. I hate that. I feel like I'm speaking for them since they haven't been spoke about in a while. Okay, this is First Lieutenant Robert James Adams. Dude got a big old grin on his face. He's born January 13th, 1945 in Hennepin, Colorado. No, oh, sorry. I got this wrong. Hennepin County, Minnesota. I seen CO in Colorado because I put the state's initials. Hennepin County, Minnesota. Died July 25th, 1970. He was 25. In Vietnam, he died from a ground casualty explosive device. So it sounds like trip mine, landmine, etc. He's on panel 8W, line 50 on the Wall Memorial. Let's give First Lieutenant Robert Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. I'm freezing, so if one of them wants to come here and keep me warm, that'd be okay. Don't scare me, but at least warm my legs up. Because the heater is way back over there. You guys can see it right there by my glasses. It's not pumping out very good. I'm glad when this cold weather is gone. This is Second Lieutenant Robert Lee Adams. I can at least see when they look better. And when I was using the laptop, it was hard to see the quality. He's born October 15, 1943. He died November 4th, 1966. He was 23. No death, but no birthplace, but his home record was Carlisle, Pennsylvania. He was with C Company, 2nd Battalion, 27th Infantry, 25th Infantry Division. And he also died from small arms fire. I know it seems like it's repetitive, but that's a lot of them are. He's on panel 12E, line 16 on the Wall Memorial. Let's give Second Lieutenant Robert Adams a moment of silence. And we thank him for his service to our country so we may be free. They're all heroes in my book. Oh, when I was doing these yesterday in the snow, I went out in the snow, but we were snowed in. There was a story that we were told when I was in the Navy about an airplane bomb that went off, because I was an ordnanceman. They told us the story in boot camp, but they also told us this in ordnance school about the A4 that went off, and they told us how to properly not do that again. That main story that we were taught to scare us. I just read that one yesterday. It was crazy. I was like, oh my God, I remember that story. It was I think it was exactly number 300, so we'll get to that one in a few videos, but it's a crazy story. I mean, 134 people died, I think. It was a lot. But we seen the videos of it and everything. It was horrendous. This is back when the flight decks were wood, not metal. This is Sergeant Robert Leland Woods. Get his name right. Kind of looks like a skinny Richard Nixon. He's born October 8, 1944. He died April 24th, 1966. He's from Tarentum, Pennsylvania. He was 21. He died in Vietnam. C Company, 1st Infantry Division. Died from small arms fire. I mean, I hate these no stories. I want to know stories about every one of them. I hate that there's no info. He's on panel 6E, line 130 of the Wall Memorial. But we're going to give them all a moment of silence and thank them for their service regardless. So let's give Sergeant Robert Adams a moment of silence. Because they all deserve that, and they all deserve to be thanked for their service. Every veteran dead or alive, needs to be thanked for their service every day. So if you are watching this, if you want to thank me in my comments, that's awesome. This is Lance Corporal Roger Dean Adams. Going the wrong way. He was born March 19th, 1946 in Ashland, Ohio. Died July 2nd, 1967. He was 21 in Quang Tri, Vietnam. He was a 3rd Marine Division, 1st Battalion, 9th Marines, HS Company. Died from rocket mortar. Only info I could get. He's on panel 22E, line 96 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Lance Corporal Roger Dean Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. I get to go see the VA tomorrow. Yay. Appointment time. I always look forward to those. This is Sergeant Ronald M. Adams. Not the greatest picture, but when you look at this website, there's a thing comes up that says, "Can you submit a better photo?" So it allows you to submit a better photo of them if you have one, like family members that needs a better photo. So Sergeant Roland M. Adams, born September 15, 1930, in Cascade, Maryland. Died December 29, 1967. He was 37. In Binh Dong, Vietnam. He was with C Company, 2nd Battalion, 2nd U.S. Infantry Regiment, 1st Infantry Division. He served in both Korea and Vietnam. Died from an explosive device. He's on panel 32E, line 90 of the Wall Memorial. I'm going to stretch my neck when I do this. Let's give him a moment of silence. Thank him for his service. We needed that. Missed my chiropractor appointment yesterday because of the snow. This is Private First Class Ronald Wyatt Adams. So that's usually, they don't usually go past Private First Class. They don't normally go down to Private. He's born November 26, 1947 in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Hey, we got another Kentuckian. Died January 23rd, 1968. He was 20 in Dinh Hue, Vietnam. He was a Company D, 1st Battalion, 5th Marines, 1st Marine Division. He was on a post assigned to safeguard traffic on the main supply route. The enemy constantly mined the highway, attacking the convoys. To combat it, the Marines sent out patrols and set up daily ambushes to indirect and engage them before they could inflict damage. On January 3rd, the patrol was attacked with rifle fire, killing Adams and wounded 4 others. It's on panel 35E, line 13 of the Wall Memorial. Give PFC Ronald Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. This is Sergeant Ronnie Lee Adams. Looks like the main character on CSI Miami. Sergeant Ronnie Lee Adams was born June 13, 1943 in Iowa Park, Texas. Died February 13, 1968. He was 24 in Vietnam. He was a Troop F, 17th Cavalry, 196. I'm not sure what I wrote down there. LIB or UB? No. He led his halfback to the banks of a river. He sensed something wasn't right. He motioned for his unit to stay back. He and a fellow soldier edged their vehicle into the water, hitting a mine and exploding, killing him instantly. His instinct was correct. I think he knew it, but he pushed his unit back so they wouldn't get harmed. So that's almost like self-sacrifice. He's on panel 39E, line 16. Let's give Sergeant Ronnie Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. We have another private. Needs a picture update. This is Private Roscoe David Adams. Definitely needs a picture update. He was born November 28, 1949 in Beaumont, Texas. He died July 28, 1968. He was 18 in Quang Nam, Vietnam. He was with D Company, 1st Battalion, 27th Marine Regiment, 1st Marine Division. He died from frag wounds from a grenade. I was trying to see what I have wrote on there. That's the wrote between the two. I'm not sure what it is. He's on panel 50W, line 21 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Private Roscoe Adams a moment of silence. Thank him for his service. For some reason, in between the two, I have technical wrote in parentheses. So let's do the second one, and maybe it'll make sense. I do. I have. Oh, okay. I know why I wrote it down now. Because this guy was TSGT. I didn't know what that meant. And TSGT is technical. It means technical. Sergeant. Technical sergeant. Okay, now I got SGT sergeant. I don't remember why I wrote that now. So T sergeant. So technical sergeant. Now we're getting somewhere. Royce Horace Adams. Took me a minute to remember why I wrote that. He was born August 25th, 1936 in Kibbe, Georgia. He died April 14, 1969. He was 32 in Quang Nam, Vietnam. He was with the 366 Security Police Squadron, 366 Combat Support Group, 366 Tactical Fighter Wing, 7th Air Force. That's a tongue twister. He died from a non-hostile vehicle crash. I do have some information. The police vehicle he was riding in lost control and rode over after skidding on wet pavement. Died in an accidental vehicle crash. He's on panel 27W, line 79 of the Wall Memorial. You guys want to look him up one day. Let's give Royce Adams a moment of silence. And thank him for his service. These next few have big paragraphs because I was doing like 7 or 8 per page. This one has 3 stories in one page, so each one's gonna have a big list here. This is Private First Class Russell Bird Adams. Okay. Oh, my neck's killing me. I'm gonna bring this up here so I can raise my head up some. He was born April 6, 1945 in Wheeler County, Georgia. Died February 9, 1969. He was 23. Bring this up so y'all can hear me. He was the 25th Infantry Division, 2nd Battalion, 12th Infantry B Company, Silver and Bronze Star. He has one of each. Hopefully, I have the information why he has both of them. His platoon was providing security for engineers that were sweeping for mines. They were ambushed with small arms fire and rocket-propelled grenades. During the fight, Adams had an AK-47 round nick his knee, but he kept fighting. When one of the flanks was threatened, he crawled across the open road, exposing himself to open fire. He crawled to the forwardmost position of the platoon where wounded men were lying and administered life-saving first aid and personally assisted them to covered positions. His actions saved several lives and secured the enemy's defeat. He died from explosive device. That guy's a hero. He's on panel 33W, line 90 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give PFC Russell Adams an extra moment of silence for that. It's a hero right there. Risk his life like he did. Okay. This is PFC Russell Lee Adams. The first one was Russell Bird. The names are pretty similar because I'm going alphabetically. He died June 16, 1945. He was born, I have died. He was born June 16, 1945. His home record is Washington, D.C. Died October 23rd, 1967. He was 22. Quang Ngai. Ngai, Vietnam, I think. He was on Landing Zone Olive Dram. Landing Zone Olive Dram was a forward fire support base. The commanding officer received a report that a man from the weapons platoon was killed after he walked behind the 1066R as it fired. The battalion executive officer, or battalion executive officer, conducted interviews and learned it was PFC Adams. He had been on a perimeter watch that night and passed behind the weapon as it was discharged a round, killed him. While it was discharging a round, killing him instantly. So he walked behind whatever. I'm sure it's one of those big old, huge, long cannons. I'm assuming that's what I see in my mind. A 106R is probably one of those 15-foot long barrels, and they got the things in the ground with wheels on it. I didn't look it up, but I'm assuming that's what it is. But it fired, and it has a big, huge thing that comes back when it fires. So it hit him and killed him. Or the fire coming from behind, the refire that comes out the back. He's on panel 28E, line 52 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give PFC Russell Lee Adams a moment of silence. I'm thanking for his service to our country. That had been an awful way to go. All right, this is CMC, so I looked that up. It's Chief Master Sergeant. I was in the Navy, so I had to look it up to figure out what it was. He was in the Air Force, so CMC, Command Master Sergeant Samuel Adams, just like the beer. He was born August 2nd, 1935 in Goldenrod, Florida. A good name. He died November 2nd, 1965 as a prisoner of war. From October 31st to November 2nd, the 6250th Support Squadron, 6250th Combat Support Group, 13th Air Force, 4 passengers and 4 personnel. Did I have that right? 4 passengers. 4 passengers. Okay, just 4 passengers. The personnel, which is the military. Four passengers were in a van with a Vietnamese driver returning from a rest and recreation tour. When en route, their van was stopped at a Viet Cong roadblock and they were captured. While being taken into a detention camp, his last name was Page, one of the 4 managed to escape. He ended up captured. Hold on. He evaded capture until November 4th when he regained to the military. When he rejoined the military. So he was running for, it happened November the 2nd. So he was running for 2 days because they got him on November 4th. He rejoined. A report said that they saw 2 uniformed officers near the site prompting search and rescues, but they were never found. A captured combatant confessed he had heard about the capture, saying 1 escaped and 1 was shot in the arm. The remaining POWs were shot and left beside a footpath. They have never recovered their bodies. So the guy that was captured was saying that they shot the 3 and left them beside a footpath, I guess, to be found, but they were never found. So that's why they have his death as the 2nd, which is when he was captured. So who knows how long he was alive. He's on panel 3, line 8. Panel 3E, line 8. Let's give Command Master Sergeant a huge moment of silence. We thank him for his service. I mean, coming back from an R&R, it's absolutely insane. Okay, we have 2 left on this video, and I'm going to be doing another one tomorrow because I'm freezing. So I will not be doing another one tonight. There's no way I can make it. This is 239 of 58,000, so we're almost to 240. This is 239 Staff Sergeant Spencer Adams. He was born May 6th, 1934 in Mobile, Alabama. Shout out. Died February 15th, 1968. He was 33. In Tay Ninh, Vietnam. He was the 65th Engineering Battalion, 25th Infantry Division, C Company. Died from artillery fire. On a convoy, he was the lead commander of his tank. His tank, Adams, plus 4 others were instantly killed from a rocket propelled grenade. He's on panel 39E, line 42 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Staff Sergeant Spencer Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service to our country. Okay, last one of the video 12 of the series. This is Captain Stanley Lee Adams. Stanley. He was born April 3rd, 1943 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He died November 4th, 1969. He was 26 in Vietnam. He was a 557th Tactical Squadron. His F-4C led in a fight of two. Okay, he was the lead in two. There was two airplanes. He was the lead of the two. His F-4C was struck by hostile ground fire while making its first napalm pass over a target. He's on panel 16W, line 25 of the Wall Memorial. Let's give Captain Stanley Lee Adams a moment of silence. We thank him for his service. We thank all of them for his service. All of the 240 we've read before, and all the 57,760 we have to go. So we love them all. We thank them all. They're all heroes in my book. If you guys enjoy this series, like I said, I know it's not entertaining and I'm not doing anything hoopty-hoopy. I'm not spinning around in a hula girl suit or nothing, but I'm just reading their names and doing what they deserve. They would want it this way. They wouldn't want me doing nothing flashy. I'm just sitting there reading their names. And every now and then a ghost shows up. Remember, video 5, 10-minute, 10-second mark. Go check it out and come back. But hey, like and subscribe, and you'll get the notifications when I do the next video. And we'll continue in the series. We'll continue with another Adams. There's a bunch of Adams. There was 127 total, so we'll be in Adams for a minute. We'll do another one. If you guys can't see my cheeks are pink, so it's definitely cold. I don't have pink cheeks. You can tell the coldness right here. Anywho, see you on the next one. Thanks for watching and following along. 58,000 Lives, a tribute to the fallen on the Flip Side of Mud's channel. Ciao for now.